This doesn't fit very well in my glasses, so hopefully we'll be okay with being able to hear me. In my gym, there have been times that I've had a gym about this size and I was the only one working in it. Currently I'm in a gym that has 6 courts and sometimes track athletes are running. I've got basketball on the court, I've got high jumpers. It's kind of a free-ring circus. But we all kind of feel like that when we'll practice every day, don't we? But anyways, I've been coaching for a long time. I've done every level club, I've done high school, I've done middle school, collegiately, a bunch of different levels. But I just want to talk about where it began with me, and that was in Pennsylvania. I played for the Jody Menor Pennsylvania edition. Her name was Sharon Watson, and she won 12 state championships. And during that time, I think I was part of number 4, 5, and 6. And during that time, I never lost a high school match. I'm going to say that again. I never lost a high school match. The older I get, you'd think the story gets better. But how do you make the story better if you never lost a match and you won 3 state championships? Because 9th grade was part of our middle school. So what did I learn from that and what did I take away from that? When you're in it, you have no idea. All we knew was our coach was really tough. She was mean. And we couldn't wait to graduate and go to high school. Sound familiar? Once we graduated and went to college, Once we graduated and went to college, and I had friends who went to Penn State. I think out of our 8 seniors, everybody played Division I volleyball except one went to play basketball. And by Christmas, when we were back home, we all decided that we needed Miss Watson to create a college called Guppy U, which was a population of a town about 20 down the road, and then we would all go back. So back to my point about when you're in it, you don't know what you're experiencing until you don't have it anymore. I was fortunate to be coached in club by Mike Hebert, Shelton Collier, in college by Bonnie Kenny, who's now in the Hall of Fame out east. So I've had a ton, I think nothing but Hall of Fame coaches. How lucky am I? Being in the right place at the right time and not knowing what I had until I decided, gee, I think I want to coach. Now I had a unique problem because all of my coaches were Hall of Famers. Who was right? You laugh, you got it, good. Who was right? I didn't know. Who was the best? Should I teach him to serve this way? Should I teach him to pass that way? Should I teach him to hit that way? What am I going to do? I was really stressed about picking the best. Well, how do you pick the best out of that group of coaches? So now I'm working on my master's in exercise phys, kinesiology, that type of thing. And every time I had to write a paper, some type of research paper, I decided I was going to get into some volleyball research. Well, who do I start reading? Jim Coleman, the guys at BYU, Carl McGowan, Tom Tate from Penn State. Well, Jim and Carl were really the fathers of USA Volleyball. So now I'm even more confused. Now I have everything that they're teaching is based on research, based on biomechanics, based on physiology, and I loved it. So that's kind of my background. But how lucky am I to have those people as influencers, but you still have to make decisions. I was just talking with Jason from Grand Valley, and he was a longtime assistant as I was a head coach, and I was congratulating him on his step into the big chair. You know, and his comment is now you have to make all the decisions. Well, that's back to what I'm talking about now. How do you decide what you're going to teach? How do you decide what you're going to make as expectations? How do you find a way to take anything from today and make it yours? For me, that was the struggle when I first became a head coach. I had lots of good information, lots of outstanding ideas, You know, everybody that I was fortunate enough to play for was uber successful. What do I do with it? I'm going to give you a couple things that I learned along the way about that. We have men's volleyball at Siena Heights, so our new men's head coach, this is the first time that he is in the head coaching position, so I'm mentoring him. And that's what made me think about talking about some of these things today. The old KISS, keep it simple, stupid. I think the simpler it is for the athletes, the better. The simpler it is for yourself, the better. Don't make things too complicated. Everything I teach, I try to eliminate all extra movement. Because Lord knows some of the things that these kids do, where they get those motions, I don't know. But we try to keep it simple, eliminate extra movement. Repeatable. Karch talks about repeatability. Hugh McCutcheon talks about repeatability. I think that's got to be at the top of the list. And then the other thing is holding everybody accountable. And I think kids don't know whether they want to be held accountable for technique or to be held accountable for end result. So I found that when we're in a drill and we're talking about how do we win the drill or what the goal of the drill is, I let them know what I want. Sometimes I don't care, if we're working on passing something really technical, I don't care where the ball goes. Over the net, under the net, into the wall, I really don't. I just want them to be aware of what their body is doing, and that's a big hurdle. A lot of them don't know if they're, you say right foot forward and yep, coach, I got you. Okay, coach, right foot forward. Yep, okay, I'm ready. They have no idea what their body is doing. They have no idea that that foot is connected to the brain. Okay, so they need to know whether I want technique, perfect 100% of the time, or they need to know what my expectations are. If we're working on pushing the ball to zone 1 and we need 10, I don't care how they do it sometimes. Get it there. Because in a match sometimes, match point, we know that that's the weakness and we're going to win. If we get a ball somehow, some way to zone 1, we're going to score. Somehow, some way you get the ball to zone 1, right? But I think they get conflicted. So in our drills, they know, am I 100% working on technique or am I end result oriented? Split that for them. And I think they'll feel better about their progression and better about their end results. Yes, are there times that I say, we're working on maybe serve in zone 1 and we're working on technique back here at the same time? Yes, but I want technique first. As we work on our technique, the ball's going to go to zone 1 better and better. Just clarify those. All right, so with those things in mind, we're going to talk about some bad situations. I think the funnest thing for me, I did not select this topic, by the way. Somebody on the board came up with it and said, Kim, how would you like to talk about this? I'm like, sure, whatever. So it was at the end of my season, we were meeting with the team, and I said, hey gang, I got to speak at the MIVCA clinic, and they want me to talk about bad situations as an attacker. So I asked my outside hitters, what are your bad situations? And immediately they had answers. So that was awesome. And they said that the absolute worst is the set that's too tight. And the second one, I just put 2 on here, a really wide set. So I listed these on the boards for outside middles, whatever. And at the end of the 5-7 minutes it took, it's not very long, I was really, really happy. I walked out of that room just glowing like a new grandma or a mom that kid just graduated in kindergarten. Why? Because what we were working on in the gym and what our expectations were and what we decided were bad things, they bought into. So it doesn't matter. If I think, and I'm going to tell you, I think the worst set we can make in this gym is a tight set. If my team believes it, we're going to make progress. Now, some of you may disagree. Some of you might love putting it tight. Hey, go for it. If you want to get your kids, get your feet there and do it that way, that's fine. As long as you're all on the same page, it works. Okay, so my topic is managing bad situations as an attacker. And the first thing I thought of after I met with my team is I'm going to start with my setter. And everyone's going to shake their head, wait, I thought this was about attacking. I'm going to start this with my setter. Now, back to, I've been really lucky, fortunate, whatever, had great coaches. I've also had, every setter I've ever had as a starter has been at least all conference. And that's 30-some years. Both on the men's side and women's side. I coached men's at Siena Heights for 5 years. Every starting setter I've had has been on conference. They must be doing something right. I think that's the most difficult position on the court. Two things with that. I want my setter to make balls that are hittable. And to me, 8 foot off is way more hittable than tight. And I want them to make a correction the very next set. So if my setter puts a ball tight, early on, that freshman year, I'm tight, give them feedback. But I get very happy when we're in a drill, they make that mistake. I don't have to say anything, the next ball is 5 foot off. That's all I ask, because they recognized it, they made the correction, we're able to move on. So those are good things. So we ready? Let's talk about what I want my outside hitters to do. Now, we talked about expectations and body awareness. So before we get into a tight set, I have a couple outside hitters. Body awareness. Bree, I'm going to ask you guys, and Mike, I'm going to toss a pretty good ball, and I want you to approach with both feet outside line on your plant. That's all I'm asking you to do. Can you do that? I'm a toss, because I love tossing. I think I'm a good tosser, so. All right, that's all I want you to do. Keep your feet outside there. Awesome. 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 Why do you hold that? You're afraid to make a mistake? I tossed that inside on purpose. So I want you to go hard forward to the ball, keeping your feet out. Go get it, Bree. Good job. That is the same set, young man. Give him a high five. Okay? And those are our options. Bree went off with 1 foot. Great job. You went off with 2 foot. You just had to go a little bit harder, didn't you? So if I'm over here setting and let's say I'm a senior setter and I give you that set that's a little inside and you just roll the ball. Come on, rookie. Jump and swing, right? Because you can. Those are my expectations. Everything outside. No matter where I put that ball, roll, awesome. All right, so I initially started my toss so they were able to get in this area, right? Now all of a sudden, I'm able to set the ball here. They're still able to get their feet wide, correct? So your range, I call it your hula hoop. Your hula hoop just got lots bigger, correct? So now you're going to make my setter look even better, correct? Okay. The other thing I want you to think about, you have to make the setter look good, and you will never get a bad set. A bad set is better than no set, correct? How many of you have kids that go home, oh, the setter doesn't set me enough, Mom, Dad. I only got 4 swings and Susie got 24. Your 4 swings better than the best 4 sets that setter made, right? They better be telling me, yeah, good job, great set, great set, great set. Boy, I'll set that girl again, correct? So you know what your job is. You got to make that setter look good. You got to tell that setter every set is good. The only setter that's bad is what? The only setter that's bad is tight. The only one. Are you allowed to tell them that it's too tight? No! Absolutely not! Don't you think that setter, you're going to set right at it, don't you think that you know that that set is tight? Oh yeah. Don't let your hitters tell your setter that the set's too tight or too low. They know. Okay? And the other thing I tell my hitters, that's my job. Don't talk to my setter. Okay? We good? All right, so if you can get your feet here and still hit a ball that I'm tossing touching to here, do you think maybe you could get your feet to here and hit a ball that is tight? Think we can do that? Okay, I put this piece of tape down here, and I have that in my gym during preseason across the whole court. We call it the no jump zone. Stay out of the no jump zone. Nothing good happens in the no jump zone. If we're in here, we had to put on brakes, we had to go vertical, and we lost inches. We weren't able to use our fast approach. You know, we get in the net, we get under the net, we get blocked, nothing good happens. For whatever reason, in young setter's mind, the most beautiful set is about right here, correct? It just looks so pretty. But boy, that's really tough to hit. Now, I can say as we coach younger athletes, we want to keep them off the net because they're smaller. And this helps, correct? But at Siena Heights, my 6'9" outside hitter guy that's in here is now facing a 6'9" middle blocker whose arms are over here also. So really nothing good happens right here. It's pretty, but it's not functional. Got the message? Before we get to you, ready? I want your feet behind that line, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a little, we'll keep them off first and we'll make them a little tighter. And I don't ask my setters to set tight when we're training outside here because I don't want them to have practice bad habits. Okay? Feet behind that little line. Great, Mike. Great. Great. All right, I'm going to inch you up a little bit. Ready, breathe? Oh, that's just uncomfortable, isn't it? Oh, he was trying really hard. All right, we don't like that. All right, in my gym, we have some of these square pads, and what I'll do is I'll have somebody stand here with that square pad opened up, as if it's a wall. You don't want your toes in there, you don't want your knees in there, you don't want anything in there. Okay, so I'm asking you to keep your feet behind there. Know that it's tight, but stay out of the wall. Okay? So what I'm asking them to do, control their body. So I don't care if it's attacking, passing, serving, whatever skill we're doing, if you control your body, you're going to control the ball. We good? Awesome. Awesome. The hand had to go lefty. That was low and tight. Good job. Okay, so we can do that. Give them a hand. Those were uncomfortable sets. Okay? They did a variety of things. Hit lefty, pokey, roll, tip, whatever. My next phase of this would be, okay, we're going to work on tipping this ball. I need to land some up here, please. Stand right on the line, about 8 foot off. And then come on up here. Just this. Let's say right on the yellow line. You have a choice. You could tip on the line. I'm pretty literal. On the line, on yellow. Right, Angie's laughing. Angie played with me. Okay. That's your only choice. Somehow, some way, tip to one of those guys. Okay? I don't care. Right hand, left hand, whatever. It's going to be tight. Ready? Somehow, some way, good job. Somehow, some way, good job. Somehow, some way, good job. Good job. All right, so some kids in your gym are going to be able to hit both. Give me a third person, and why don't you go over here for me, please? And why don't we go with the T or the gray line right there? Perfect. All right, now you have a third option. Somehow, some way, see if you can get it. Oh, that's pretty nice. I like that. Okay, so as we do this, two things. I am logging in my mind who is capable of what. Some of your outside hitters just aren't comfortable or strong enough to make that shot. I need to know that. Because in a match, I'm not going to ask them to do something that they are comfortable or can't do. Which is the easiest? their bodies turn and their hand goes funky, and I don't know what happens, but some of them just can't do that one. But you as a coach need to know that. Okay? And then we need to say, Mike, you threw that one all the way across, right? All right, assets and liabilities. Maybe because I'm getting closer to retirement, all of a sudden I'm talking about assets and liabilities. My players don't want to hear, what was it I used to say, tools in the tool belt, or you can do that well, that's good, that's bad. They don't want to hear that anymore, right? Because I call, oh, they did that, oh, you do that. They don't want to be categorized, right? But they're clicking with assets and liabilities. So you know what your asset is? You have that shot. That's awesome. Use your assets. Okay? And then when we talk about liabilities, oh, we got to get rid of those liabilities, right? We're getting rid of them. And they like getting rid of those liabilities. I don't know why it clicked, it worked, and that's what I'm using these last couple of years. Whatever works. My 6'9" guy, my outside hitter, holy moly. I don't know what he reaches. We don't have VIRTEC. We're a small school. But it's up there. And he wants to hit down. And it took 2 years to convince him that his assets are 6'9" and up there. And now, as the freshmen come in and he's a senior, because you don't have the assets that I have. And it just makes me crack up. As the freshman has no idea what he's talking about, but the cool part is the kid knows. Now what he does, he said, Coach, I can hit over that 7 a game. I go, okay, good. That's your asset. Hit over that 7 all day long. So whatever lingo you have to come up with to make it click, use it. All right, that's your asset. So, we play a team, and they have their right back. Bree, what's your asset? Pick an asset. Line? You want to go with line? Okay. So now we have a situation where we're playing a team, and somebody comes up, and they're all over that, and it's not there. You can't go to your asset. What are you going to do, Bree? Tip in the middle? You going to try something crazy and go there? No. That's a well thought out plan there. Okay? Let them know what their plan A is. They need to know what they do best. So when they're in a situation where they get a tight set, they know what they are capable of. So it's okay if Bree can't go along there. It's okay that she knows that that's covered. Now I've got that. And I'm like, great job. In the meantime, Mike, Emma makes a mistake, puts you in a bad situation, and you tip right there to justice. What am I saying to you? You're not using your assets. Absolutely. My expectations of him are different than her. How many times are you going to get set tight before you go to your plan A? I hope early, right? But if they know what their assets are going into a match, and you can watch a team play for 5-7 minutes and see what their defenders are doing, who's able to pick up what. I mean, I just walk up to my outside hitters, hey, you're going to have this, plan A, plan B. You're going to have this, plan A, plan B. That's it. That's all it takes to get prepared for a match. Are we doing that? It makes their life easy. Keep it simple. Give them 1 or 2 things to do. And whether it's a bad situation or if it's a good situation, your assets are probably different. Okay? I had a player, Rachel Antonella, who was great in MAC. I don't know how many times on MAC. Kid could not get line to save her life. We're out at Navy, her freshman year. Come on up here, please. And they figured that out. And they are blocking her that much cross court. And she hit every ball out. She could not hit line to save her life. And we watched film. And she's, Coach, I don't know why I can't do it. I'm like, okay, you're agreeing with me that you can't do it. We're not going to fix this in a week. It takes longer than that. So all we're going to do is we're going to give you options on that half of the court. Because she's a freshman. It's the middle of the season. Hitting line for freshmen sometimes at that level, that's going to take longer than a week. And I needed her the next weekend. Make the court smaller, tell them what their options are, what their assets are, whatever, and let them compete that way. When you have a weekend off and you have more practice time, then start working on some other things. but put them in a good situation. Okay, ready, set? Emma, ready? Emma. No tight set. Worst set. You can make it a tight set. Okay, and I'm going to help you out. Okay, I'm going to stand over here. And I want you to step to me, toe to me, hands to me. Every single time. Angela, talk to Emma. That's awesome. Awesome. That's all I ask you to do, right? Awesome. Great job. Great job. Every single one of those is hittable, especially at match point, championship point. What happened to setters? One more. What happens to everybody match point, championship point? We try to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect. We just need to be good. That's the worst part about coaching men. They all want the big bounce right now, no matter how high, how low, how inside, how outside, where it came, it doesn't matter, they all want the big bounce. Right? Our women's team, we commit, just be good. Okay, match point, I just know I'm going to hit a good shot. I know what my assets are, and I know what the liabilities are over there. They should know on match point who they're going to, either a who or a where. Because if they have a libero they like to move around, or if they have a little blocker who sometimes serves and goes to left back, sometimes she serves and goes to right back, whatever, they need to know a where or a who. And if they know at the end of the timeout, or if they know before the serve what their assets are and liabilities are, and they have plan A and plan B, it's really pretty simple, isn't it? And it's really pretty simple for you to prepare them for some of those things. I have a lot of former players that are coaching, high school, club, college, and every year I get a call, coach. Used to be, you could email me, now it's email, send text, whatever. Airdrop, your practice plans, your drills. Oh, first of all, I don't have them written down. Wish I did, I could make a lot of money. It's not like I just come up with a book and, let's passing. I'm going to, pick out number 47 today. Swimming, I'm going to pick out number 72 today. It doesn't work that way. So then I tell them, well, wait a minute. You just want me to send the whole thing? Oh, yeah. Okay. Why are you coaching? As coaches, we need to be problem solvers. Hugh McCutcheon says change agents. It's all about change agents and problem solvers. So we eventually get to the conversation where, all right, what problem are you having with your passers? And now let's break it down, and then we can talk about maybe some type of drill to add to the end, but after we do some breakdown, skill-wise. Then they call me back a week later. Okay, now I'm having this problem. Yes, that's what I want to hear. This is a problem I'm having, and this is how I'm going to solve it. When we go do our 30-minute serve pass in Division I, we're often, we follow up somebody else's practice. And I love when coaches leave me their practice plans. Steal them all, take a look, what do they do? And the absolute thing that drives me nuts, especially basketball coaches. 4 o'clock to 4:10, they're shooting free throws. 4:10 to 4:20, they're doing the best break. And it's just all split up, and they've got their clock running, and they're jogging on the spot. I can't win practice pattern. If you saw it doesn't look too much different than this, even though it's 2023. But I have an outline. I start with an outline. Maybe I have 6 things I want to work on. I usually get through to 1, and then I write this arrow over here. Tomorrow I got to add this, but I didn't get to that. Then I write what I did do, and I circle that. Do that again on Wednesday. And it looks like this gibberish thing, but it makes sense. Sometimes I feel like I I have a goal, I want to get this done, but something else crops up and I want to address it immediately. So there went my 4 o'clock to 4:10 right out the window. But that's okay, because then I have a couple things that I'll box. No matter how sidetracked I get, I will finish these 3 things in practice. So that's what my practice plans look like. There's a method to the madness, but I think we always end the day achieving something, and I always tell my team that if I